asymmetry. It's basically when you were favoring the side that's not injured. And anyone who has been, this is more common than we'd like to admit. Anyone who has had one of these, you hear people say, that never quite felt right afterward. Why does it happen? So a couple things. One, the strength, maybe the mobility, maybe the power. I've talked in past videos about the hierarchy of athletic kind of development, where maybe you did get the strength back, but you didn't get the power and the explosiveness back. It's that other layer that just never quite got back to where it should be for a number of reasons. It can be, that's a whole other topic for another video, so it just never quite felt right. Or pain. It hurts to put full pressure on it. So our bodies are amazing compensators. Humans are amazing compensators, where if something hurts, we are going to just subtly, not even thinking about it, shift weight off of whatever part of our joint hurts and not fully put pressure on it when we're walking. Because of that our body kind of relearns this new way to walk or new kind of movement pattern. Not just with walking. This happens with running, planting on your leg, cutting, squatting, you name it. And we relearn a different side. And then as a result, we end up having muscle atrophy, where we learn this new way. So we're using new muscles, we're not using the old muscles, and it's a kind of a bad cycle. Or lack of confidence. So there was a pretty big study that came out, this is about 10 years ago now, looking at football players who injured their ACLs and looking at outcomes. And less than half returned to their sport. And the biggest reason that they didn't return to their sport was they were not confident. They felt like they couldn't trust their knee and their leg. And this is after people who went through full round of rehab. It's not like these are people that didn't finish out their rehab, and maybe that's why we can say, yeah, they're not confident because you didn't do what you're supposed to do. No, these are people who went through a rehab progression and months of it. The issue with imbalances are they're often, we can't detect them. So back in the day when I got out of PT school, motion analysis was a big deal. So we would, video somebody squatting. Let's say you had ACL surgery on one side, and we video how you're squatting, we video how you're planting and cutting on your leg and running or whatever, whatever you need to do to get back to your sport. And we used to be able to, we still can do it, but what we used to do is we used to slow down by frame and just see if they were subtly favoring one side or the other. What we found is that's not as sensitive as we would like it to be. Whereas a lot of times we could say, oh yeah, that looks good. It looks good to the naked eye. It looks good to, even slow motion video. But what we're finding with new technology, things like force plates that are more readily available in clinics to use and to test people, is that there is still an imbalance there. And it's not just saying like, if you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. The issue is these imbalances are a big deal still. They are there. We're finding more and more that, the rate of second injury after like an ACL surgery is unfortunately still very big.